forward to this. Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. I have a beautiful Swamiji here from LA. Swamiji, would you please introduce yourself before we start?
Sure. My name is Swami Shiva Shankari Ananda. I'm from Sivananda Yoga. I run the center in Los Angeles, and I've been practicing for 30 years, and it's totally changed my life. And I met Mandodari, I don't know how many years ago, and I'm so happy that the friendship and the wisdom continues to flourish.
Yes, so yeah, same here with me. So yes, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Olga Mandodari. Mandodari, my Indian name. So I do Vastu Shastra consulting and design. And so I have this opportunity, Swamiji very kindly let me stay at the yoga center in LA for several days. So I'm so excited to be there. And I would like to give a lecture on healing architecture. And by looking at what is happening now in the world, and especially in the LA area with all these fires, it's just scary what is happening. But years back, I actually looked at the area of that where the fires are, and I was surprised that, in a good way, actually, I was surprised that delineation of the streets was exactly how it's prescribed by ancient shastras. So I thought, oh my God, this is a very good place to live. And now with all these fires, it's just it's scary that is happening. But I thought would be interesting maybe for people in general to find out about this healing architecture as time will come and people will rebuild their houses. And it's good, I think, to give them knowledge from the ancient past, how people used to build, because they would not consider land as just a piece of, earth and rocks and trees and all that. And they would review that, slopes, even taste the soil. And they would say, oh, this is good for living. This is maybe should be vacant. So people would actually do a lot of more investigation in order before they would start building. So, but I understand we live in a time when we don't have too many choices. We just buy houses, whatever was built by builder. But still, I think it's good to have some understanding what is prescribed by ancient wisdom in order to have a happy house. I even have a book called Happy House. So Swamiji, I know I could go on and on that, but I think I should make it easy for people to understand what I'm doing. Maybe you could just randomly ask any questions and I will explain what it is just as a person. So for people, it will be easy to relate to Vastu Shastra. So Vastu is energy Shastra teachings. So teachings about energy in the house and around, and how to make it a happy place for people to live in such buildings or environments. So I'd like to answer any questions.
Well, I remember reading your article in the Shivananda magazine many years ago about the statue that in at Kanyakumari that was not affected by the tsunami, and it really struck me that like openness inside would give it the power to withstand anything, and if that's true, then why we don't harness it is quite surprising. Yeah, I remember hearing about a house a long time ago in a Malibu fire that didn't burn, and it turned out to have been built to Vastu's standards.
Yeah.
So then it's like, why does the fire jump to houses? Or why, it's like there's something happening and we've lost touch with it. And it's so beautiful how enthusiastic you are about
Yes.
discovering it and putting it in practice, but for ways that we can do it, that we can understand it and start to access it in our lives. It's really beautiful because you've done so much thinking about it and counseling people.
Yeah, so I think it's a good point about this inner kind of shaft of light in that monument. And so what it is in so every space is considered to be alive. So we're just like soaked in the ocean of consciousness or simply energy. So this energy or consciousness is everywhere. So the house should fit in this structure because the consciousness has structure. It's not just space and there is nothing in it. There is invisible structure and it's called Vastu Purusha Mandala. So Vastu is energy, Purusha is a living being, and Mandala is design, geometric design. So we have to fit in this invisible structure of space. And this is what these teachings are. And so what it is, so every house has its own heart. We have heart, house has heart as well, energy heart. So that heart is in the center of the building. So if we put bathrooms there or maybe some structural elements to support ceilings and, just to build a structure, which happens often actually, then we basically destroy that energy which is living and breathing and vibrating. It's very subtle vibration. Actually, yogis can feel that. And some people can do the same. They could feel that energy. So if that center part of the building is occupied by heavy structures or bathrooms or laundry rooms, the house is very weak. And that's what Swamiji, you mentioned about this monument at Kanyakumari, it's a south point of India, that yes, my guru, Dr. Ganapati Stapati, he was traditional architect. So he got this project from government of Tamil Nadu to build this monument. And it took them 3 years to build, and they built according to ancient scriptures only. So he mentioned to me, he even gave me that little photograph. It was because I went to India just after tsunami, like 10 days after tsunami. And he said, Madam, look at this picture. See, the wave completely covered this monument, but everything around was destroyed. The monument stood up, withstood this tsunami wave because he had this shaft of light. And in the beginning, because I didn't know anything, I was just in the beginning of my education with him. And so I asked, what is this shaft of light? He said, that's consciousness. And it's actually very strong. It keeps us going through our lives. It's our consciousness, and there is divine consciousness. And building has its own consciousness because it's actually made of almost the same materials as we are. It's just different vibrancy. So yes, if we look in the microscope, we always see everything is moving. Our cells of our body, if you look deeper and deeper, we will find only energy waves. Same with building materials. Yes, they are also semi-alive, not like we are, of course, but they have also own energy. So in all the times, they would choose actual materials, what they would use for construction, and mostly it was from nature, like clay, bricks, wood, because it was alive, and so it's all divine nature. So different type of vibrancy. So yes, the center of the building is important to leave empty for building to breathe in and out. So that is important. So there are very simple rules actually, how to build such a house. It's open floor plan. And so that's what I do. And I know one house was designed for one beautiful yogini at Grass Valley, California. So Mahalakshmi, and she lives in such a house. So she gave me an opportunity to design a house for her, and it's built. And she said, I love it. Mandodari, I love it.
I was
Yeah,
able to stay in that house for Thanksgiving one year, and
really.
so I
You
got
did?
to experience it myself. Yeah.
What did you feel? Maybe you could share a little bit. Any sensation, or how you felt in that house?
Um,
Just maybe lightness or something, or
yeah, definitely. Because it's open, like it's high and it's open, and there's not like you don't bump into anything. Your energy doesn't bump into anything. I don't know. It's like a really elevating space to be in.
Mhm.
And yeah,
It's just
it
easy to be there, right? There is no like, you don't feel pressure of something. Because that's what people say. I mean, yeah, that's a beautiful house, but I don't feel comfortable. And most of us, we can't explain why we don't feel comfortable. But I can look at the floor plan of the house and I can say why you don't feel comfortable.
Mhm.
So that's the thing. So that's what I would like to give kind of like an introductory lecture at the beautiful LA Center about what is Vastu Shastra, the essence of it, but also I would like to share my latest research. And it's fascinating what I found. So I'm not going to cover all this today. It's just like a little teaser for everybody who would like to come to LA. So I would like to share about sacred dimensions in ancient past people used. They didn't use centimeters, they didn't use inches or feet. They used a different type of dimension called angula. So angula, it was right hand, middle finger, and middle phalange of the finger is considered as a divine measurement. And actually it is in golden ratio to our arm. And it is in golden ratio to forehead. And I measured that. I even have like a little instrument here. One time I showed to people, like I bought this kind of like a measurement instrument. So the golden ratio is embedded here. Yeah, so we could measure. So what I did, I decided to use my finger, my angula, like this. And then I measured my forehead. And I know my angula is in golden ratio with my forehead. I mean, if we start researching that, we will be fascinated how we are designed by nature. And so there are proportions also in the teachings, how to build, what proportions to use, where to place bedrooms, bedrooms and guest rooms and kitchens and stuff like that. But I would like to give a little bit more information on this angula, because I found some interesting information about that. So maybe it will help people to discover these ancient teachings and to be able to rebuild maybe their houses prescribed by this basically merging with nature design, because what it does, it allows a house to be positioned in a specific way and calculated to somebody's personal energy or several energies if they're couples or children and things like that. So there is all there, formulas. So I'm very excited.
But if you're not able to build a house from scratch, how can
Yes,
you use the wisdom
that's
just to
right.
feel better?
Or Vimana. Remember, I have a lot to share. Anyway, so yes, Swamiji, if you maybe anything else you would like to ask, because I know people are busy now with clearing all this disaster what had happened. But I think by coming to Sivananda Yoga Center in LA, it's just like when you walk into your center, you feel peace already. And I was there. I remember that. It's an old building and it's designed well.
Yeah,
So I think
it's
maybe,
stable. Yeah.
yeah, so maybe people would like to come to discover this, to have some meditation and just to have a good time and find some peace and curiosity about ancient teachings. Maybe this is a time for us to wake up, from our busy lives, thinking about only what we have to do for today or for tomorrow, and just kind of open up ourselves to the ancient teachings when
Mhm.
we really thought about house as a living being, which is in resonance with nature, and not only the nature of the planet, but also resonating with cosmic nature, cosmos, because cosmos is not just a bunch of planets, constellations, and stars. It's all alive, it's moving, and we are in it. Our
Mhm.
Earth is
And
moving.
it's happening whether we're aware of it or not.
Exactly, it's happening. We're designed to be a part of this world. We are. So let's open it up to people. So I'm very thankful, Swamiji, to come to the yoga center and to be with you and talk about things I'm fascinated for 20 years and hopefully to find somebody.
Well, we're thrilled to host you and see what you've discovered recently.
Yes, thank you, Swamiji. So I'll give more detailed information about the lecture structure. So maybe we could just post it somewhere and find some people to come. Okay,
Very good.
super. Thank you.